The desperate voices of two little girls pierced through the cool evening air outside a quiet suburban cafe. The man sitting alone at a corner table, broad-shouldered, rugged, and calm, instantly turned his head. His name was Jack Turner, a single dad and retired Army medic who had seen too much pain in his lifetime. He hadn't expected to face it again here, in this peaceful little town. The twins, no older than 8, were crying, clutching each other, barefoot, their expensive clothes torn. Jack didn't hesitate for a second. He ran out, crouched down, and asked gently, "Where's your mom?" One of the girls pointed toward a nearby car parked haphazardly on the curb. Inside, a woman slumped over the steering wheel, her lips pale, her breathing shallow. Jack's instincts kicked in before his mind caught up. He ripped the car door open, checked her pulse, and started performing CPR right there on the side of the street. People gathered, filming, murmuring, but he ignored them all. Every movement was precise, confident, and filled with purpose, the kind of focus only a man who had seen death up close could have. Within minutes, the woman gasped and coughed violently, coming back to life. The crowd erupted in applause. The twins threw themselves into Jack's arms, sobbing with relief. Someone whispered, "Who is this guy?" But Jack just smiled softly and said, "Just someone who's done this before." When the ambulance arrived, the paramedics were stunned. "Who did first aid?" one asked. "Whoever it was just saved her life." Jack nodded silently and stepped back. He didn't crave recognition, he'd done what needed to be done. He was about to leave when a man in a black suit rushed out of a sleek car, panic written across his face. The twins shouted, "Daddy!" The man, Ethan Cole, was the CEO of one of the biggest tech companies in the country. Reporters had followed him for years, but today he was just a terrified father. He grabbed his daughters, then looked up at Jack, confusion turning to awe as paramedics told him what had happened. "You saved my wife," he stammered. Jack nodded once. "She'll be fine. Just low blood sugar and exhaustion, she needs rest." Ethan was speechless. He tried to offer money, a reward, but Jack shook his head. "My reward's right there," he said, pointing to the twins, smiling again. But the girls wouldn't let go of his hand. "Daddy, can he come with us?" He made mommy breathe again. Later that night, Ethan insisted Jack come to the hospital. His wife, Amelia, lay in bed, recovering, her face soft and kind despite the fatigue. When she saw Jack, her eyes filled with tears. "You saved me," I remember hearing a voice, calm, steady. "I thought it was my husband." Jack chuckled softly. "Just doing what I was trained for, ma'am." But Ethan couldn't let it go. "You're a medic?" he asked. Jack hesitated, then nodded. "Army medic. Served in Afghanistan. Lost my wife 5 years ago, been raising my son alone ever since." There was silence in the room. The weight of his words hung heavy, but something changed in Ethan's expression. He saw not just a stranger, but a man of quiet strength and integrity. A week later, Ethan called Jack again, not to thank him, but to offer him a job. "I run a company that makes medical tech. We could use someone like you, someone who knows what real emergencies look like." At first, Jack refused. "I'm just a small town guy. I'm happy fixing engines and helping at the community center." But Ethan insisted. "Jack, my daughters won't stop talking about you. You've already changed one life, maybe you can change more." After some thought, Jack agreed. He joined Ethan's company, helping develop advanced first response equipment, inspired by the tools he wished he'd had during his service. His calm under pressure, his compassion, and his real-world experience quickly earned him respect. The workers loved him, and the CEO's family began treating him like one of their own. Weeks later, during a company event, Ethan took the stage and introduced Jack to the audience. "This man reminded me, and all of us, that true heroes don't wear suits or seek headlines. They show up when it matters most." The entire hall stood in applause. Jack's son, sitting in the front row, smiled with pride. But the real moment came later that evening when Amelia, now fully recovered, approached Jack privately. "You know," she said softly, "the night you saved me, I wasn't just dying from exhaustion. I was ready to give up. I thought my life had lost meaning. You didn't just bring me back, you gave me a second chance to be the mother my girls need." Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "Thank you, for saving more than my life." Jack's heart tightened. Sometimes, he said gently, we don't realize how strong we are until someone reminds us to breathe again. The video ends on that note. Jack walking away under the golden evening sky, the CEO's family waving in the background, and his son running up to him, holding his hand. A simple man, a quiet hero, who didn't just save a life, but reignited hope.